We're here at the Orcas Island 2010 Sustainability Fair with
Susan Muckle,
and you represent
the Washington State Extension Beach Watchers program.
And can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
All right, this is a volunteer program. It's modeled on the same pattern as the WSU Master Gardener program. People volunteer for a course. They're given 100 hours of college-level marine science education over a period of a few months. And then when they reach the end of the course, then they agree to give back another 100 hours of volunteer service over the next 2 years in the area of the marine environment.
And so what are some specific field trips that is some of this classroom learning, is it all outside?
It's part classroom and part outside. We get to know and have presentations from all the major science and research groups and environmental groups in the area, in the Puget Sound, Salish Sea area. And they give presentations on specific topics of the marine environment, and then we usually end up at a beach where we see some of these things in action. Sometimes we get involved with research projects that these people are doing. Sometimes we just sort of observe and then absorb it and put it into practice later.
Can you list specifics, like do they learn about amphibians or fish? Can you tell us some specific things they learn about?
Well, we cover the full range of the ecosystem. We learn about plankton, seaweed, fish, the crustaceans, how the beach itself works, the watershed process from rainfall and lakes and so forth down into the sea, a lot of the problems in the sea like plastics and pollutants. It covers a broad range. Yeah.
Is there something that you can tell us that we can do on a practical level to help our island be more sustainable as far as our practices of how we live?
I would say the thing that we are most aware of at the moment, because we're involved in a project of working with this, is plastic. That any way you can reduce the quantity of plastic that you use in your life is a huge help, because we've been doing some beach sampling for the Port Townsend Marine Science Center for a big research grant they have, and they're collecting beach samples from all around the American portion of the Salish Sea. And they're interested in the little plastics, the big stuff. This all came from Spencer's Fit, by the way. The big stuff is obvious, and they're periodic beach cleanups, and a lot of people pick that up. But it goes down to the very minute level, and it's still plastic, and it's still there. So we've been collecting samples and putting them through sieves, taking them down to smaller levels, and then analyzing what's in them and counting. And then we send that information to Port Townsend, and then they are compiling it from 7 counties around Puget Sound, and we're just finding a huge quantity of plastics. This all came from Fishing Bay on Orcas and was all collected within the last few weeks. And even if you take it down to the level where it's almost sand, it's still plastic.
Mm-hmm. So you're talking about making smart choices in the shopping that people do, and also, of course, recycling, keeping tabs on how they use their plastic. As far as being here at the fair, is it mostly an educational piece about, for example, plastics and garbage? Is it letting people know about the classes that they can take?
It's a combination. It's information about the class. The class is held every year in the spring, and it's currently going on and will finish in a couple of weeks. And there are 16 students in it this year from the 3 major islands. We also are educating people about this plastics project we're doing, and we're also just providing information about what you find on the beach, what you find in the sand and tide pools and so forth. So it's a combination.
And do you have a website? Do you have contact information?
We do. We have, if you just Google Beach Watchers, San Juan County, you'll come up with the website. We also have an online newsletter that'll probably show up that tells what we've been doing and individual projects and so forth, and photos.
I want to take this opportunity to say that sometimes what I like to do when I'm going for a walk on the beach is just bring a bag with me, and it's amazing how quickly they fill up.
It does fill up quickly, yeah. Elena's been collecting at Spencer Spit and can't even get it all in the winter. There's so much of it, and so that's great, but I think the focus maybe that we need to think about is reducing, not create as much, not use as much, and then be very careful how we dispose of it.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Good, how are you? You know, it's funny, that's like a common theme here that we're seeing today. Just think about what you're bringing into your house, whether you're building the house or how you're eating, or like if we look for a common theme, a lot of it, it's kind of, what do you call it, cliche, reuse, but it's true. It's like, watch out what you even have walked through your door. Like, it's harder with the family. Like, if I lived alone, I would have more. You live alone, right?